We live in a culture that treats time as a neutral thing. Monday at 9 a.m. is the same as Friday at 3 p.m. They're just positions on clock. You choose your timing based on your convenience. The ancient Indians, however, had a very radically different view about time. Time was not neutral, time was alive. The Panchanga, the five elements of Vedic time. The Vedic calendar is called the Panchanga. It divides time into five elements, and each of this element carries a quality. Some elements are conducive to beginning something, some elements completing something, some to rest, and some for spiritual practice. Now, these five elements that this Panchanga divides time into, one is Tithi, which is the lunar day, the quality of the lunar cycle. Second one is Vara, called the day of the week, and that is the planetary ruler of that day. Nakshatra is the lunar mansion, the star cluster the moon is occupying or traveling through. The fourth is Yoga, which is the union of the sun and moon, the combination of the solar lunar energy. Fifth is Karana, which is half division of the day, the subdivisions of each day and half a day and what qualities they bring. Together they form Murat. Murat is an auspicious time. When the Tithi is right, the nakshatra is supportive, and the planetary positions are conducive, the cosmic environment aligns with human intention. This isn't superstition, it's astronomy. The rishis were extraordinarily precise in observing planetary movement. The ancient Indians weren't being mystical when they chose Murats, they were being empirical, with a different kind of data accumulated over much more longer periods about the relationship between cosmic timing and human outcomes. Have you ever noticed that sometimes everything just seems to flow? You meet the right people, the conversation goes well, your ideas click, things fall into place and almost effortlessly. Then there are days when nothing works. You wake up late, your meetings get cancelled, you miss your train, your laptop crashes, every decision feels heavier than it should. Most of us shrug and call it luck. Ancient Indians had an explanation for it. They believed not every moment in time was the same. And that single idea changed the way they built temples, started kingdoms, conducted marriages, began businesses, and even the sacred fire during a ritual. This is called Murat. Today, most people think Murat is simply as simple as checking in with an astrologer for a wedding date. But that's like saying the internet is just for watching cat videos. You've missed the whole point entirely. Because Murat wasn't created for weddings, it wasn't even created for ordinary people. It was born thousands of years ago for something much more profound. It was created because the ancient rishis believed that if human beings wanted to communicate with the cosmos, they had to speak its language. And that language was time. One of the oldest surviving texts connected to Indian astronomy and astrology is called the Vedanga Jyotisha, composed over 2000 years ago with roots reaching even further back than the Vedic tradition. Its purpose wasn't to predict your soulmate. It wasn't even interested in your personality. Its purpose was astonishingly practical, to answer one question: when? When should the fire for a ritual be lit? When should the offerings be made to gods? When should the chanting or the recitals of the Vedas start? Because according to the Vedic worldview, a ritual performed at the wrong time was like planting seed in winter. Whereas a ritual itself could be perfect, but the timing was not. The movement of the sun, the phases of the moon, the appearance of the constellations, the changing seasons, all of these became the universe's clock, or all of these are actually universe's clock. Before astrology tried to answer who are you, it first tried to answer when should you act. Now here is something fascinating. Imagine living 4000 years ago, no wristwatch, no clock, no calendar hanging on your wall, no Google Calendar reminding you that your meeting is about to start in 5 minutes. How would you know the time? You'd look up. The sun told you the hour, the moon told you the month, the stars told you the season, nature itself became your calendar. But ancient Indians didn't stop there. They noticed something. Nature didn't move randomly. Everything followed rhythms. The tides, the monsoon, the flowering of plants, migration of birds, the menstrual cycle, sleep, birth, death, everything seemed to operate in cycles. Then how can humans work with nature? How can humans control nature? We cannot. Today we treat time as identical. Time has become a container, empty, neutral, and mechanical. Imagine music. Every note lasts for a certain amount of time, but not every note feels the same. Some creates tension, some creates peace, some resolve around a melody, some prepare what's for coming next. The notes occupy time, yet each has a completely different character. Ancient Indians believed moments worked the same way. Some moments favored beginning, others favored endings. Some encouraged stillness, some encouraged movement. Some were ideal for learning, and other for negotiation, and others for warfare even. Time wasn't just passing, time was speaking, and Murat was the attempt to understand its language. Most people think Murat simply means good timing. Actually, a Murat is a unit of time. One Murat lasts approximately 48 minutes. 30 Murats make up one complete day and night. Ancient scholars divided the movement of the heavens into measurable units long before mechanical clocks appeared in Europe. The laboratory wasn't a building, it was the sky. Every sunrise, every sunset, every lunar phase became data for them. They collected, they observed, they compared, passed from teacher to students and across generations. Now think about this. If your civilization believes the sky is your clock, what kind of monuments do you build? You don't build towers that ring bells, you build observatories, temples, structures aligned with the movement of the sun. So think about the Konark temple, the sun temple in Odisha, the Modasa temple, also a sun temple in Gujarat. Most visitors admire the incredible carvings on these temperatures. But if you look closer, the temple has massive stone wheels. Each wheels function like a sophisticated sundial. As sunlight moves across the spokes, the shadows shift, allowing the time of the day to be estimated within remarkable precision. Imagine that, an entire temple designed not just as a place of worship but as a way of reading time from the sunlight itself. In India, time became monumental. It was carved into stone, embedded into architecture, written across landscape. Because once you believe moments have different qualities, you stop asking, how can I manage my time? And you begin asking, what kind of time am I in? And you start honoring that time. This is a completely different way of living. And it's also where astrology enters the story. Not as fortune telling, not as personality typing, but as humanity's first attempt to understand whether the universe itself had rhythms and if that rhythms influenced human life. We did not create time, we learned to listen to it. Murat is that listening, thousands of years old, still speaking. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel because there are many such mythological stories and facts that are coming your way.